Beauty Clique 7. I'm also known as How To and Style Show here on YouTube, and today we have a really fun video planned for you guys. I'm going to tell you my top 5 TV shows and my top 5 books. My top TV shows, I am a TV junkie. I watch TV like all the time. Number 5 is Fringe, and Fringe comes on, I think, Fox. And it comes on Thursdays, and so Fringe comes on during the school year, which is good. It comes on Thursday on Fox, and I love Fringe. It is such a good show. It's about like Fringe science is like stuff that's like supernatural, like telekinesis and like you know, people reading minds and people like programming other people, and it's a really cool show. It's about stuff that you don't think would happen, but it does, and it's kind of interesting to think like, oh my gosh, is this really happening? So it's based on this character. Her name is Olivia Dunham, and she is an FBI agent who investigates Fringe events. Like if there's a crime and it seems a little abnormal, she's the one who investigates it. And it's a really good show. If you haven't watched it, it's easy. You just pick right up into it. Like, there's really no storyline, so each episode is like its own episode. You know, like some TV shows, if you don't know what happened before, you miss like half the season, then you're not going to be able to understand it, but Fringe is not like that. And then my number 4 show is House, and House also comes on Fox, and it comes on Mondays, I think at 8, and it's an hour long. I love House. It's about a medical doctor. His name is Dr. House, and he is a big pain in the butt. He's really rude to his patients, and up until this season he has had problems with Vicodin. He was addicted to Vicodin, and he has his leg is hurt, and you've probably seen reruns of this on pretty much any channel. I know A&E and FX show reruns of House a lot, and House is just a really good show. Actually, spoiler alert, but on the season finale of House last season, House and Cuddy, who is House's boss, got together, and it's something that I've kind of been predicting ever since, and I don't know how this is gonna happen. My number 3 show is Chelsea Lately. And Chelsea Lately comes on E, which is the entertainment network. For me it's channel 60, and it comes on at I think 12 or 11. It's one of those late night shows, and her name is Chelsea Handler, and she is a comedian, and she has like it's like half an hour long, and like the first half of the show is like a round table, and it's like her at the head of the table, and there are 3 other people, and they just talk about like current events, like celebrity wise. And then like the second half of the show is her interviewing someone, like a celebrity or a star of a TV show. So that's really cool. She has a lot of good guests on there, and it's really funny stuff. It's really cool, and I like to watch it before I go to bed. I think it's pretty much new every week. Like she takes like every day of every week. She takes some weeks off, but it's been new this week, so if you want to check that out, you should. And then my number 2 show, let me make sure I didn't skip anything, is Dollhouse. And Dollhouse is basically about these humans, people, who go under contract with this place called the Dollhouse, and they get their memories erased and their mind erased, and then like through their stay at the Dollhouse they are like rented out to other billionaires, which is a really cool concept. It's kind of like glorified prostitutes, but it's a really cool show, and there was a really cool twist at the end of last season, the first season. I guess the 3rd season is on now. I don't know, but it's a great show. And then my number 1 favorite show, as some of you guys might already know, is True Blood. And True Blood is such a great show. I watch it every Sunday. It comes on HBO, and it comes on I think 9. But True Blood is an adult show. I think a couple of these are adult shows. True Blood is definitely the most adult. There's some nudity and you know, graphic parts, and they cuss so much, but it's not really a problem for me. You know, I just kind of don't even pay attention anymore, but it is a great show. It is centered around this girl. Her name is Sookie Stackhouse, and she is a mind reader, and she lives in a town called Bonton in Louisiana, and what happens is there's this new drink, kind of like like a new drink, and it's a blood substitute, so it's called True Blood. And the vampires now have come out of the coffin, so to speak, because they think that now that the True Blood is out there, they can use that instead of drinking human blood, which none of them really do. So it's a really great show. The vampires are really cool. I love Bill Compton, and then there's Eric, and he is amazing. So you know, if you watch the show, leave it down below. Everyone's like, you know, oh, Team Edward, Team Jacob. I am Team Bill or Team Eric. I love True Blood. It's such a great show, and if you're looking for a more adult vampire show, that's the one to go for. So I've decided to give you my top 5 authors, and I have a couple of their books up there that I'm going to get down and show you. But these are in no particular order because they're kind of, it's all a tie, but I do want to show you these books. They are all really good, and these authors are geniuses. I will read anything they write. The first author is Stephen King, and if you haven't heard of Stephen King, where have you been all your life? Like, Stephen King is huge. He writes these huge textbook books. I mean, when I say that, I mean they're huge, like thick books, and they are so well written, and they're kind of like sci-fi. They're really good. Stephen King has a lot of good versus evil in his books, and good usually wins. He is a mastermind, and he is a great writer. He always has been. And I just got one of the books that I've read by him, and this is one of his newer one. I think it might be his newest book, but this is Under the Dome. Stephen King is a great author, and if you haven't read something by him, you should. The first one I read by him was Needful Things, and that is a good book as well. And then the second author that I'm in love with is Jodi Picoult, and she has probably one of her most famous books is My Sister's Keeper, and that was the first one I ever read by her. She's a great author. She writes a lot of stories about children and their relationship with their parents. She writes about a lot of testy topics. Why did I do this? Testy topics. She writes a lot about those topics that, you know, people are a little like uneasy about, like you know, suicide and cancer and disease. She has a lot of books about people with diseases, and she just ties in a bunch of like family problems and just shows how much love in a family is really important. She's a mastermind. I love all of her books, and I just picked this one because it's just a random one. This one's about Handle with Care, and it's about a girl with this disease that her bones break really easily. My next author is obviously Stephenie Meyer. She's a great author. Well, let me rephrase that. She has good storylines, and she really does know how to create an audience, but truthfully, the Twilight Saga is not written very well. It's a great book. I've read it's a great series. I've read them like multiple times, but they're not written very well. Until I picked up this book, I thought that she was just good at young adult, like sappy love stories, like not well crafted or anything. And then I read The Host, and this is my favorite book by her. I've read this book more than any of the Twilight books combined. This is a great book, and if you haven't read it, you should. You know, she advertises it as her first adult book. It's still a teenager book. Truthfully, I don't think my mom would be captivated by it at all. So I mean, I don't have to tell you anything about her. My next author that I love is Christopher. I have loved these books. It was originally going to be, it started with Eragon, which they came out with a movie. The movie wasn't good. They never came out with another one, which was depressing because I love the books. They're a lot like Lord of the Rings. A lot like a Lord of the Rings. It's about a boy and his dragon, and I mean, it's really magical and science fiction-y and fantasy and goodness. It's really good versus evil, and I am obsessed with it. There are kings and queens and these shades and all of these crazy things, and I guess before the next one comes out I'm gonna have to reread them because I've forgotten a lot about it, but you should definitely read those. Those are good. And then of last is J.K. Rowling. I have read Harry Potter so many times, So that is it. Those are my top 5 authors and my top 5 TV shows. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, this is Helen, aka The How To and Style Show with the Beauty Clique 7. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye!